So I've been getting a lot of questions lately about DoorDash and specifically about how to get the big orders and the big tips while still maintaining the acceptance rate that you need to have. So I wanted to talk about that and clear up any confusion and just give you guys some insight into my experiences and how that's been going. So first of all, there's a couple of different ratings with DoorDash. You have your customer rating, which is 1 through 5, and the customer is going to rate you based on the experience that they had. So that's important that you keep a really high rating there. And then you have your order completion rating, which is the orders that you accept. What percentage of them do you complete? And it's important to keep a pretty high rating there too, because you don't want to be accepting orders and then canceling them, and then who knows if the next driver will be able to pick it up and get it delivered in time, etc. So order completion rating is important too. But then there's the order acceptance rating. And for example, here in Los Angeles, DoorDash says it's important that we keep a 25% order acceptance rating. And that may seem pretty low, but it can even be hard to keep that type of acceptance rating when you get orders from far away that just don't make sense for you to accept. Here in LA, the payout system is that each order with DoorDash is paid at a flat rate of $5, and then plus you get tips, and generally the tips are going to be based on a percentage of the order, because that's the way the customer app works. When the customer orders, they're prompted to tip, and they're prompted to tip a percentage of the order. So think about that for a second, because the customer's not tipping based on how far you drove or how much effort you put in or anything else. They're just tipping based on a percentage of the total order value. And what that does is it essentially makes you a waiter, right? And if you're going to be a waiter, do you want to be a waiter at McDonald's where the order values are very low and you're not going to get tipped anyway? Or do you want to be a waiter at a fancy steakhouse where the tips are going to be bigger? So I'm going to be a waiter at a fancy steakhouse. So those are the types of orders I'm going to be looking for. But back to the acceptance rating, especially at times of really high demand, like Sunday nights, for example, I'll get so many orders so quickly, and a lot of them will be so far away that with a $5 flat rate payout for performing the delivery, and then just a tip, which is a percentage of the order. Generally, most customers do tip, but it just doesn't make sense to take those orders. Like if it's say like 7 or 8 miles of driving for like a $10 order, it's likely that payout's going to be like $6. It might take you an hour to complete, and it might not even be a good experience for the customer, because if you have to drive so far to pick up their order. So a lot of these orders that I get just don't make sense to do. And it's not that DoorDash is trying to screw us over as drivers and sending us these inconvenient orders. It's just that the system is so stressed that at that very moment I'm the closest DoorDash driver available. And I would get a lot of these orders, and at first I would really worry about my acceptance rating, and you're almost put in a position where you feel like you have to accept these crappy orders so that you can maintain your account and keep it in good standing. But is that really the case? I'm not sure. Now this does probably depend on your market, so it's important that you talk to other drivers, talk to people in the DoorDash office, your local DoorDash office if you can. But I was in the DoorDash office recently, and I spoke to somebody there, and I explained to them that a lot of these orders just don't make sense for me to accept, because they're so far away, and it would just be better if a closer driver could pick them up, even if it was a few minutes later. Then I accepted it. And yeah, I'm saying pick them up, like accept the order, not actually pick it up, because they'd probably be able to pick it up a lot quicker. And I said, how important is that acceptance rating? Am I going to get deactivated for having too low of an acceptance rating? What's the deal? And what they told me was that, look, the most important metric for us is the customer rating. So concentrate on providing an amazing, and great experience for the customer. And the acceptance rating isn't as important. And I said, well, if my acceptance rating does get too low, will I get some type of warning? And they said yes. So hopefully that's true. So my strategy for looking for orders with higher totals, which generally leads to bigger tips, is that I don't have to worry about accepting every order or even worry about keeping my acceptance rate up, because I just think as an independent contractor, which we are, you can't worry about taking orders that aren't going to be profitable just for the sake of keeping your account in good standing. And it's nice to know that you know, whether or not DoorDash actually publishes this information, that they value the customer rating over something like the acceptance rating. And I do want to point something else out, and that's with DoorDash, the way the customer experience works is that when the customer places the order in the app, they actually put their tip in at that time, so before they get their order. So they're gonna have high expectations, especially if they left a really nice tip. So it's important that you provide a great experience. And I think about it like this, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. So the customer has already tipped when they ordered, so you don't wanna let them down. You wanna really provide a great experience for every order that you accept. And, you know, like I said, only accept the ones that are gonna be profitable for you, but also keep in mind that the specifics of that might vary by market. But at least here in LA, you know, what I've been told is that the customer rating is the most important thing to concentrate on. So I hope this video helps. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys soon.